Y'all see what we got today? Don't sweat small stuff. And it's all small stuff. This is basically a book, Simple Ways to Keep Little Things from Taking Over Your Life by Richard Carlson. This book has it tells you how to be a kinder person. Something that a lot of people have issues with. I've run into people who just think that if someone do something to me, I gotta do it back to them, to make them feel how I feel, which a lot of times they really don't take into consideration, which is a kind thing to do, take into consideration why they might possibly be acting in that behavior. So let's just read some of the stuff out of here. It is a very interesting book. A lot of people don't know about this book. I didn't know about this. I got it from Barnes and Noble, about a couple years back. But we're going to start just at a random place inside this book. So we're going to choose being kind over being right. How many times have you heard that from most of the time wise people? As I first introduced in strategy number 12, you are given many opportunities to choose between being kind and being right. You have chances to point out to someone their mistakes, things they could or should have done differently, ways they can improve. You have chances to correct people privately as well as in front of others. What all these opportunities amount to are chances to make someone feel bad and yourself feel bad in the process. Without being too psychoanalytical about it, the reasons we are tempted to put others down, correct them, or show them how we're right and they're wrong is that our ego mistakenly believes that if we point out how someone else is wrong, we must be right, and therefore we feel better. That's exactly what I mean. You don't do stuff like that. In actuality, however, if you pay attention to the way you feel after you put someone down, you'll notice that you feel worse than before. You feel worse than before the put down. Your heart, the compassionate part of you, knows that it's impossible to feel better at the expense of someone else. That is so true. Luckily, the opposite is true. When your goal is to build someone up, to make them feel better, to share in their joy, you too reap the rewards of their positive feeling. The next time you have the chance to correct someone, even if their facts are a little off, resist the temptation. Instead, ask yourself, what do you really want out of this interaction? Chances are that you want is a peaceful interaction where all parties leave feeling good. Each time you resist being right and instead choosing kindness, you'll notice a peaceful feeling within. Recently, my wife and I were discussing a business idea that had turned out really well. I was talking about my idea, clearly taking credit for our success. Chris, in her usual loving manner, allowed me to have the glory. Later that day, I remember that the idea was actually her idea, not mine. Whoops. When I called her to apologize, it was obvious to me that she cared more for my joy than she did for her own need to take credit. That's so nice. To take credit. She said that she enjoys seeing me happy and that it doesn't matter whose idea it was. Do you see why she's also easy to love? I see why. I want a girl like that. Don't confuse this strategy with being a wimp or not standing up for what you believe in. I'm not suggesting that it's not okay for you to be right. Only that if you insist on being right, there's often a price to pay, your inner peace. In order to be a person filled with equanimity, I guess, you must choose kindness over being right most of the time. The best place to start is with the next person you speak to. That is so nice and so true. get this book. Don't sweat the small stuff. I think it was like $5 or $6. Get this book. It will show you a lot of examples of, I'm sure, things that you went through with different people in your life. So again, don't sweat the small stuff. It's all small stuff.